My name is Joshua Frank Killacky, hashtag JFK, right? I am 20 years old, almost 21 years old, don't get twisted. And I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My favorite style where I could feel like I could express the most would definitely be like hip hop meets contemporary, so I guess contemp pop. Sometimes I don't feel as much passion as I do in dance within the whole like hardcore hip hop. I feel like I'm almost in a workout class, but the whole contemporary side of it gives me almost like the pages that I could write my stuff on, you know, taking time within the lyrics and music and the beats. So I definitely call my style contemp pop. That's like my favorite style, as well as artistry. I like really giving into it and going deeper than just dance. The whole Bot Bros thing got started from me and David Moore in his kitchen. Seeing these videos on Instagram, you know, seeing that celebrities just writing them, not really fully comprehending or understanding them. So we got them like a week later, and we were questioning ourselves, hey, who's gonna shoot a dance video on this? Like, it has to happen. It's gonna go viral. No one has ever seen it, especially because your feet are being used, but your whole upper body, you could do whatever with it. So we were like, wait, why don't we just take this upon ourselves? So we were really in his kitchen just thinking this out. So me and him called 4 of our friends that we knew already had the hoverboards already, and we knew they were comfortable just riding them as far as like balance or whatever. So we got in rehearsal, we made up choreography for it. We just started messing around, experimenting in rehearsal, making up choreography on them, just like twisting and turning. Then it eventually started turning into like legitimate choreography where we were going down, we were touching the ground, doing different tricks on them. So we had 2 rehearsals at West Coast Dance Leader, shout out, for 4 hours each, and then we shot the next day. And little did you know, after shooting it and trying to find this balance, especially it's hard dancing on these 2 wheels rather than dancing on your 2 feet. You're dancing on 2 wheels called technology that you can't really give your full faith in, because I swear during the shoot we fell on our face like 20 different times. So it was definitely a hard shoot, but little did you know, it went viral on YouTube. Bieber tweeted it out, many music artists tweeted it out, and then about like a week later after the video got released and we got the opportunity to perform in the middle of Times Square. It was really like one of their first times flying out people to perform for Good Morning America that weren't musical artists. It's really amazing because we don't really get that too much. We're always behind the artist, so being recognized as part of the artist felt so appreciative. It was just a moment, and definitely gonna be a moment to remember my entire life. The proudest moment in my career as a dancer, we got flown out to Vegas for this MGM Grand show for this event, and we were the entertainment, and it was just 18,000 people, and we were the only entertainment of the night. And we came out on the hoverboards. It's like we had our own intro of leading on. They had all these screens, and it was a 360 performance, so there was people all around, and just everyone was staring at us. You saw the flashlights, you saw the cameras going on, you saw everything. So that moment of hearing the crowd just wow, and they weren't going over a music artist, they were going over our act, you know, from they've seen on YouTube or whatever. So performing What Do You Mean and selling out the MGM Grand with that was probably the proudest moment I've ever been to my career to this day. My first couple of mentors to this day were Tony Selznick and David Moore, as well as actually as soon as I moved out to LA, Will the Beast, yeah, completely. I remember Will was teaching at the IDA, the hood hip hop classes with the dreads, no one knew of him. He was definitely one of my first mentors. David Moore actually went to Chicago and taught multiple master classes at my home studio, so that's how I know of him. And as soon as I moved to LA, he kind of took me under his wing, and I was just been in his classes ever since. I like the humbleness side to him. He feels like a real person and has this real humanity side to him rather than just the whole choreography side of it. And then Tony Selznick from MSA, he kind of guided me into the path and career and journey I am on to this day. Come on, y'all! As a kid, I had tongue tie, so I couldn't stick out my tongue. So if like a girl would be like, oh, you got cooties, I don't like you, I would stick out my tongue, and I couldn't stick out my tongue. It would give this like weird shape, so the tip of my tongue was actually connected to the bottom of my mouth. So I would give, just stick my tongue out like, and they would be confused, like, what is that? I've never seen that before. So I actually had a surgery on it when I was like 10 years old, and they just snipped that thing, and I was out of it for like a month. So I'm all better now. I have a long tongue now. I don't know if that's weird, but like they may have snipped a lot off. So now I actually have a normal tongue. Hey there. But other than that, I also have, actually me and my mom got our black belts together, and I did Taekwondo for 10 years. My mom can definitely whip my ass. Just because also, rather than Taekwondo, she took another form of martial arts called Hapkido. So she learned the whole like body slams, and like as far as like defense mechanism, I more so learned the whole like offense side of it. So I feel like my mom can definitely whip my ass. As far as my siblings and my mom, we're like best friends. I mean, my mom literally gave up her entire life in Chicago just to move me out here in LA. So obviously we're forced to just be like this. She's been my everything since the start, and we went through everything together. We overcame many obstacles in life together, and we just naturally have this amazing bond. It almost feels like she's my sister, you know, rather than just my mom. She's my best friend, she's my sister, she's my dad, she's my everything. And my two sisters, I have two sisters and two brothers, and we also have a really nice connection. What's going on in my daily life right now is I wake up in the morning, do my hike, feel my humanity side of the whole thing, because in the industry you tend to zone out a little bit and start getting in this business mode. So I have to definitely take my hike to get to myself. I also do my vocal warm-ups because I'm really making music my priority as well. Do my vocal warm-ups. Then I see if there's classes going on throughout the week, what classes I could take. After that, I definitely have to focus on my health as well, so I make sure I cook a nice little chicken, fish, something like that. After that, I start giving focus to my social media, because nowadays social media is everything. I usually have a choreography session too, so that's kind of my daily plan is my choreography, my dancing in class, just obviously always training, and then my music side. I was in a boy band called Believe like 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and that kind of inspired me to really push my music side, just because it gave another open lane of expression and communication, rather than just dancing to the music, knowing that I can make the music and express myself through multiple lanes rather than just dancing or just choreographing. So that's where it completely changed, and I was in the boy band. Boy band didn't really work out, but it really inspired me to keep going with it, and I really felt like I could take on the whole white boy music artist that can really dance, and that's what I feel like the music industry is missing right now, is bringing dance really a priority into it. My ultimate top goal moving forward is to be a major music artist, solo music artist, but to also bring dance really into it. As far as like, I feel like almost 20 years ago, you would see the old school hip hop music videos, Missy Elliott, all of that, Usher, and they would have legitimate like choreography, new stuff. Each music video was giving some kind of different hip hop style to it. So I feel like we need to find a little path or a little cave that we need to really bring dancing into it. So I would love to fill that spot, bringing dance really into the music scene. Obviously get better at music, get better at my vocals, and my ultimate goal, have a tour for Josh Killacky and have I'm a Beast a part of it. Why not? Why not? The transition going from a dancer that built a platform strictly off dance and moving that into the music scene, I almost thought like, hey, maybe I should go ghost on the whole dance industry, be gray from it for a while, and come back out with just single. But now with the Beast Network, it opened my mind up a little bit more as far as bringing my music side into it. So as well as dancing, you know, that's the perfect lane, and that's why I feel like also Beast Network is such a huge thing within the industry, because that transition is always weird for dancers trying to be music artists and trying to get taken serious within it. But I feel like the Beast Network is just an easier lane and an important lane that people can look at you outside of just dance and outside of the whole scene, because they could see your other paths that you want to go into, and I feel like I could really bring it into it that way. Being a beast has to do a lot with individualism, creating your own lane, creating your own specialty. It's almost unexplainable to explain like what little specialty each person has, why you want to watch them the entire time in a video. Whether it's their facials they're giving, their body movement may be weird, but it's the presence they're giving within it. So I feel like a lot of being a beast is the presence you give, whether it's on social media, whether it's your everyday walking into a classroom, whether it's what you wear. All these little details kind of add into becoming a beast. And your personality. Do you support others? Are you selfish? All those little things in life really add up into this overall conclusion of being a beast, you know. First and foremost, I find many videos, many people inspire me artistically, but the main ones that really goes outside the box in a completely different form would have to be Ryan Heffington. I felt like he improved. He gave a lot of attention to the dance community just from seeing what you can do with just movement overall. So Ryan Heffington always creates these just weird, unique visuals that are kind of creepy to look at, but very intriguing to look at the same time. So Ryan Heffington, and as well as The Weeknd. I know it's strange, but his music videos just come off very artistically driven to what he's trying to get out of, and the messages he has behind every music video. Yeah, I get it, it's slow motion and he's just mimicking the words the whole time, but it's the locations, it's the meaning behind those, you know. So I guess I would have to say The Weeknd and Ryan Heffington, two completely different people, but don't worry about the judgment within the industry and the judgment that goes within the whole scene of the industry. A lot of times I find myself really lacking confidence just because LA is kind of the home of being judgment, and it kind of makes you like hold back a little, even if it's like in a classroom or taking class or going up to a group as far as networking. I would just say, honestly, literally, I know it sounds cheesy, but be you to a point where obviously do it in a humble way, and humble way as far as having that confidence and understanding you as a person, but don't really bring attention to other people judging you, just because LA is a lot of this. So I tend to think about that a lot, and even like when I'm having conversations with people, I'm like, shoot, what not to say, what to say. It's almost like homework. It's almost a paper that you have to write. Okay, I can't say this, but I have to say this, but I have to say it in this certain way. So I would say the best way to make yourself feel human and make yourself healthy as a person is not really care about what other people think. Hey guys, I'm Killacky, and you're watching the Beast Network.